I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your man TP. Today we are jumping into number 92, but today we are going to be focusing on one judge. And this judge that we're going to be focusing on is going to have about 5 or 6 different sovereign citizens before her. And that judge is none other than Judge Tammi Long Hayward out of the state of Georgia. And if you've ever seen Judge Hayward deal with any type of defendant, you know that she does not play any games. So this is going to be a long one on today. Many different sovereign citizens before her. We're going to have chapters added for your convenience. There will be no commentary at the end. We are on our way to number 100. And once again, this is Judge Tammi Long Hayward. This is number 92, guys. And let's go ahead and jump into her courtroom.
Mr. Boykin, you're Arthur Boykin Jr. charged with registering a limo or taxi violation. Sir, did you need an attorney to help you with that, or did you just want to hear from the state and see what their recommendation is?
I wanted to represent myself in that case because I'm dealing with a civil right. You went off.
It's fine. It's good. It's just going through. You're good.
You can represent yourself, sir.
I'm actually exercising my constitutional rights under the First Amendment, the Free Exercise Clause.
Okay. Mr. Kotoroka, what does the state recommend on that case?
Yes, Your Honor. I will get the recommendation very soon.
I plead not guilty now.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm pleading not guilty.
All right, so you want a trial?
Yes.
Okay, did you want a trial before a judge or a trial before a judge and a jury?
I guess when I'm dealing with my rights for is a freedom of worship, I want to deal with, I guess I'll be better with a jury, my understanding.
Okay, freedom of worship, sir? This is a taxi limousine case.
No, actually, this is an unprecedented situation that I'm dealing with right now because it's dealing with my. Let me just read something for you right quick.
I can't hear you. You're turning away from the video.
Let me read something to you right quick.
No, sir. Just tell me, because this case doesn't seem to involve religion that I'm aware of. It's just a taxi limo case.
See, Your Honor, what I'm saying is that I'm separating myself from this government. I'm exercising my constitutional right of free, the First Amendment, the separation of church and state, free exercise. See, what I'm saying, Your Honor, is that I'm exercising my right. I got to rule down. I could be better explaining what I got to rule down because it's somewhat complicated.
No, it's not complicated, sir. I did 3 years of law school and 4 years of undergrad. I got it. You're on this fringe where people are telling you to say all these things and your case will get dismissed. It's really much simpler than that.
I'm not on that.
It is really just, you got a ticket for not having your taxi or limousine registered. Do you want to have a trial about that where the state would have to prove that that is the case? Or do you want to hear what their recommendation is and you might be eligible for a no-low plea?
I want to. I'm actually, is this religious matter, ma'am?
How is it religion? Were you driving the church bus?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Listen, in other words, Congress shall make no law respecting.
No, sir. How is you driving the taxi or limousine a religious matter? If you wasn't driving the church bus, was you ferrying the Pope somewhere?
Okay, what I'm doing, I'm separating myself.
No, sir, that's not how this works. You misunderstand what that means. And I'm just be honest with you. 3 years of law school. I'm a second generation lawyer. My mama's a lawyer. My uncle's a lawyer. And I'm telling you, you are misunderstanding how that works. What I'm saying to you is you got a ticket for not having your taxi registered. It don't have nothing to do with religion or your free exercise of religion.
Okay.
Now, if you were driving the church bus, we might have an argument.
Ma'am, step out.
Okay, ma'am, I'm trying to get a good understanding. In other words, the free exercise clause
No, sir. It's not the same thing. That's not what that was meant for. You get to exercise your religion however you want to do it, but that don't have nothing to do with you driving a taxi or a limousine. You have picked up a copy of the Constitution and you trying to make it fit what you think it fits, but that is not. They got people who've been doing this for thousands of years. That's not how that works. From your understanding, but you don't clearly understand how it works. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay. You either did drive a taxi without registering it or you didn't. That's all I'm looking for. It doesn't have nothing to do with who you worship.
Well,
So did you want a trial before me or a jury?
I'm trying to think right now because it's really a religious matter, but you can't.
It's
see
not,
it.
sir. It's really not. Ms. John VA, Mr. Kotoroka Yedem, what's the recommendation on this case?
Your Honor, it's gonna be a $200 fine.
Okay, the fine would be $200. Is he NOLO eligible?
Yes, Your Honor.
You could enter a no contest plea saying that you're not guilty, but you don't contest it. The fine would be $200. It'll be $298 with the surcharges. I would give you up to 60 days to pay it. Otherwise, we're going to trial on this.
It's got to deal with it. Well, I'm gonna.
Because you just can't pick up the Constitution and think you can practice law.
I know I can't, Your Honor,
But that's what you're trying to do, sir. It's don't have nothing to do with religion. And the mere fact that you keep bringing up religion and the free expression of and free association, that tells me you're very confused. So now, did you want to take a plea, a NOLO plea, or did you want to go to trial?
What is a NOLO plea? Tell me what a NOLO
It means that you don't contest it. You know the state has evidence that they could use in a trial against you, and you're not contesting that evidence, but you're also not entering a guilty plea.
Okay, I go with that because I'm not entering a guilty plea.
All right, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. By entering a plea of NOLO to violation of the taxi limo regulation, you give up a right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And Mr. Boykin, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Did you understand all of those things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis, please, Mr. Kotoroka.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on 22nd February 2021 between the intersection of Highway 85 and Bethesda Road. Your Honor, the officer observed defendant driving his vehicle, a limo vehicle without a special license plate on the taxi. Your Honor, the officer cited defendant for registration violation. That's the factual basis. Your Honor, the state recommendation will be a $200 fine.
All right. So, Mr. Boykin, I'll fine you $200. I'll give you 60 days in which to pay. If you wanted to pay it today, that's fine. With the surcharges, it's going to be closer to $300. It'll be $298. What I need you to do now, sir, is when you leave the courtroom, go down one floor to the second floor. At the second floor, when you come back through the double doors into the hallway, go to your left. You'll see the traffic court window. They'll give you your paperwork and they will explain everything about when you need to pay and how you need to pay. Okay?
Okay, then, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Demarcus Brown.
We are going to be submitting a withdrawal to you. You should have it shortly.
All right, Mr. Brown, are you represented by somebody else?
Yeah. For the record, I am Demarcus Bey, the implied surety for Demarcus Brown. And I would like to file a motion in the court for additional 30 days for me to seek counsel.
Okay, so Mr. Bey,
Yes.
AKA Marcus Cantrell Brown, so you're seeking a continuance to get new counsel?
Yes.
Okay, do you have someone in mind, sir?
I have, not right now, I'm seeking counsel.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to give you a continuance for 30 days, or I'm sorry, till January 5th. But by that time, you need to have counsel on board when they come back so that they can talk to the state to determine if there's anything they can work out on your case, or if they need to get all of the information necessary for a trial, if that's what you choose to do. So by January 5th, I will expect that you will have counsel.
Well, I have paperwork on the docket that haven't been rebutted. I have affidavits of truth that haven't been rebutted.
Okay, sir, we don't do affidavits. People have to appear in person because there's a confrontation clause in the United States Constitution that says witnesses, you have the right to confront witnesses in person. So we don't do affidavits, okay? If you have witnesses that are going to present testimony or evidence on your behalf, then you have to have them come to court and be sworn in and testify at that time, okay? So we're not doing any dismissing and all of that stuff. No, sir. When you get your counsel, they'll be able to discuss it with the state, and then y'all can present whatever to the court.
And the accusing deputy must be present too, right? Okay.
So the people always say that, but here's the thing. The state gets to choose whatever witnesses they wish to bring, just like your side gets to choose whatever witnesses you wish to bring. You can't rely on them to bring the person that you want. So if you want to subpoena someone to appear for trial, then you need to subpoena them. You cannot rely on the state to bring your witness. Okay.
Okay. I got you. So,
all right. Anything else?
And jurisdiction can't be challenged at any time, right?
No, sir. Jurisdiction rests with this court because this is where the locus of the incident is.
Well,
Mr. Bey, let me just explain something to you. Mr. Bey, listen to me.
Okay.
I went to school for 3 years for this. That's full time. If I had gone part time, it'd have been 4 or 5 years. And I have been working since, oh Lord, I ain't gonna give my age, but I've been a lawyer and a judge for quite some time. I've been a judge for 10 years as of this year. A lot of times people come before me because they've learned stuff from other people, or they've gone online, or they've read it themselves. But I tell you, it doesn't work the way you think it works. And so there's a set of statutes, cases, procedures, all of those things that we have to learn. In fact, let me show you something.
Well, how do you have?
Wait. You see this book right here? This is just this year's edition of all the stuff that I have to be able to find to figure out what's going on in your case. This is just this year's edition. And I got a book like this that includes evidence and procedure. I got a whole wall of books. So when you come in here challenging jurisdiction and all of this stuff people have taught you, it's not books.
Can I show you my Black Law Dictionary?
No, sir. Because Black's Law, that's a dictionary. That's not the full case. You know, you come in with all of these ideas about how you think the law works, but every lawyer in here has done at least 3 years of law school and trainings, trials, all of those things. So you're not going to change the way we do things. So the best thing to do is to get an attorney who can talk to the state about your case, and then we can get this resolved. Your case is pretty simple. You got traffic offenses.
Well, I still want you to prove on the record that you have subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction.
I'm not proving anything on the record, sir. I wear the robe. They put me in this position. I've been here 10 years. If I didn't have subject matter jurisdiction, I wouldn't be here.
So it's not a difference between public and private for the record. There's no difference.
Sir, get an attorney.
Okay, all right. January 5th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Mr. Bey / Brown, you've indicated that you wish to have an attorney, so I'm going to rely on the fact that you're going to have an attorney. Don't come back here with the same stuff, and I already told you it's not going to work.
So you're telling me United States codes don't work?
No, I'm telling you, you don't know them. So first
I have it right here.
the United States codes don't work in Georgia because Georgia has its own code, OCGA.
So the meaning of driver is different in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
But according to 49
Mr. Bey, Mr. Bey, I'm not doing this with you. Get an attorney.
Okay.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
ready
You're
for
free to
this.
go. We'll see you on January 5th at 11 a.m. So Demarcus Contrell Brown.
I have interest in that matter. Is the defendant in error free to go?
If the who, what?
Is the defendant in error free to go?
No.
Well, let the record show the defendant in error is ordered to state and participate.
Okay, who is the defendant in error? That's a new one for me.
The all cap name is trust that I am a beneficiary of. My name is not spelled in all capital letters. I have a court order decree saying that.
Okay, Mr. Bey. Mr. Bey, do you have an attorney representing you, sir?
Attorney General, my Attorney General is online. You may speak to me, sir.
Is the Attorney General, Mr. Bey, hold on, let me ask my question before you tell me something crazy. Is the Attorney General a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
I'm a non-state actor. I'm a foreign national. Matter of fact, I filed
Sir, Mr. Bey.
oath of office.
Mr. Bey, I don't care if you were Alexander Putin, the premier of Russia. If you are in Georgia and you're represented by an attorney, that attorney would have to be a member of the State Bar of Georgia. Foreign national or not. Just as if you went to another country and you had an attorney represent you, that attorney would have to meet the requirements of that country and of that state. Okay, Mr. Attorney, Mr. Bey, hush. Mr. Attorney General.
I'm trying to set a record.
Mr. Bey, Mr. Attorney General, are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia? You want to unmute for me?
Speak, bro. Get off mute.
What's going on is he's a member of a foreign state corporation, basically doing business in Georgia. So
Okay,
basically,
sir, that's not what I asked you. No, sir.
I get what you're saying,
No, sir.
man.
No, and I get what you're saying, but we're not doing that because that's not how we operate. Those are not the laws under which I am required to conduct court. So we either gonna do it my way or we're gonna put you on.
We understand the rules of the court. We understand the rules of the court. I got you.
Okay. Are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
No, I'm not a member of the Bar of Georgia.
Okay,
what I'm trying to realize
then as he can represent himself,
you need to take consideration on that matter on how he's doing business in Georgia.
He can represent himself, or he can be represented by a member of the State Bar of Georgia, but he cannot have you represent him or purport to represent him. Okay, that's not going to work. All right. So, Mr. Bey, do you wish to choose someone who is a member of the State Bar of Georgia to represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I invoke my right to remain silent as the beneficiary of Demarcus Contrell Brown estate.
Okay, sir. So, sir, you're invoking your right to remain silent, which means that you do not wish to enter a plea that
I plead to be released.
That would resolve your case today. As such, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty for you.
Judge, you cannot practice law from the bench. Violation 28 U.S.C. 454. Judge practicing law from the bench.
And put you on a trial court, on a trial calendar so that your case may be heard at trial. All right, sir. Thank you. You'll get notice in the mail if anything changes about your if anything changes about your address, then you can go ahead and let us know by coming into.
I demand an evidence hearing.
You will have that at the time of the trial,
evidence
sir.
hearing.
You're not going to have an evidence hearing today because that's not what we're here for. This is
you are dishonorable. I got your oath, Tammi Long Hayward.
So, Mr. Bey, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You'll have a trial at which time you can have an evidence hearing. You'll get notice in the mail.
You're in violation of Article 6, Section 2 of the Constitution.
Your notice in the mail, then you can appear for hearing with whatever evidence that you wish to present. Although you are not required to present any evidence or testimony because the state has the burden of proving the case against you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You're free to go at this time. All right, Kevin Jermaine Burrows. The next case is Latonia Denise Turner versus Brian K. Widener, State of Georgia, Salah Holdings, Define Gresham, and Larry W. Johnson. All right, is there Ms. Turner, Latonia Denise Turner?
Yes, I'm the attorney, in fact, on behalf of the principal, who is the resident agent. I have also already submitted forms appointing the judge over this matter to administrate on behalf of the principal. And I also submitted the rest of my entries on records. Now, with that being said, the Form 56 appointing judge.
Ms. Turner, I gotta see you first.
Okay. I'm trying to, there I go.
Okay, there you are. All right, so
Okay.
Ms. Turner, very quickly. I've reviewed the information that you provided. First of all, you're suing with respect to a foreclosure, which is a situation that involves land and a determination of ownership with respect to land. That is not my jurisdiction. I'm in state court. State court does not have jurisdiction over determinations of land. We deal with dispossessories, which is a temporary situation with respect to land, the allowing someone to use your land in exchange for rent or your property in exchange for rent. But we do not deal with whether a foreclosure is proper. So in this case, this court is going to have to transfer your case to the Superior Court of Clayton County, depending on whether this is Clayton County that's involved. And so I see you're suing the state of Georgia. Not sure how they're involved. Not sure how any of these parties are really have an interest in this case. But with respect to the jurisdiction for foreclosures, that is not what I do. Okay. All right. Is there anyone else here on behalf of any of the other parties who either disagree with what I've said or who have anything that they would like to put on the record?
So, Your Honor, this is Larry Johnson. I represent Brian Widener as well as myself. I just want to point out to the court, this was initially filed and I was not named.
Okay.
And after I filed an answer on behalf of Mr. Widener, the plaintiff just stuck my name and added it to it without a court order. And at that point in time, she needed a court order. So I'm not personally, I mean, I'm only in this case because I filed an answer for Mr. Widener.
Name me too. So Ms. Turner, I know you have a set of beliefs about how the law works, but the way we do it here is just because somebody files on behalf of another person, everybody's entitled to have an attorney represent them. And so you can't then sue the attorney for giving them a defense. So everybody who comes into the case doesn't get sued individually. Like there are people who are responsible allegedly for what you are contending happened, but then there are other people who they choose to hire to help them navigate the case. For the people who are navigating the case and for the judges who are dealing with the case, you don't get to sue them because they don't have an interest in at that level. They're just trying to help the other person navigate the case, okay?
Could I get finished recording my interest on record?
No, ma'am. You've done that. You're the plaintiff. Okay.
Well, Judge, I would like to record my interest on record.
I'm not sure what that means, ma'am.
I'm the attorney of fact on behalf of the principal, who is the registered agent. I already submitted the Form 56 upon you over the matter to administration on behalf of our principal.
Ms. Turner, nobody gets to appoint me over the case. I'm already appointed to whatever's assigned to me through the clerk's office.
I appointed you through my for my trustee. And Your Honor, I would like to add also to the case and ask you a question.
No, ma'am.
Yes or no?
The question that I'm not going to answer any questions because this is not my jurisdiction. I'm going to transfer the case to Superior Court and let them sort it out because land use and land and interest in land is under the jurisdiction of the Superior Court. Okay, so we'll get you an order. We'll also dismiss Mr. Larry Johnson from the case pending whatever the Superior Court decides because he's only here to represent the defendant, which the defendant has a right to hire an attorney to represent them, and that attorney doesn't deserve to be sued because they are helping somebody defend themselves.
This case
Okay,
is also
so-
in the federal court also.
Okay, then if it's in federal court, then it probably doesn't need to be here also. You shouldn't have a case running in two different courts at the same time. Okay, that's just going to cause confusion. And you're not going to achieve what it is you wish to achieve.
Okay, Your Honor, I know this court has no jurisdiction per 12 CFR 1500. And also, is there or should there be an investment in private residential property in the United States? Or
Ma'am,
is deposit?
that is a question bigger than any of us can handle. People can invest in whatever they spend their money on. So at this point, I think that you're going a little bit too far afield. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and transfer this case to Superior Court, and my brother or sister judges on Superior Court will help you sort out what it is going on. Okay. All righty. So we'll go ahead and get an answer out to all of you. Get an order out to all of you transferring this case to Superior Court. But just as an aside, Miss Turner, everybody who comes in as a representative of somebody else, if they're an attorney, don't sue them, because it just makes the case harder to get through. Okay, if you want to achieve something with respect to finding out what happened with your foreclosure, don't keep adding people to the
Your Honor, in this executive branch of law, I have a right to sue the attorney, anyone else involved.
Miss Turner,
In this executive branch, I do have a right to sue them and anyone else involved.
Is nonsense. None of what you're saying makes sense. None of what, Miss Turner,
it's federal law.
Miss Turner, we're not in federal court. None of what you're saying makes sense. You haven't established an estate. There's no trustee. You're giving us word salad. You're just saying stuff that you've read or somebody told you was appropriate. It's essentially called a sovereign citizen, but
no, it's not a sovereign. It's not. I'm not a sovereign citizen.
If those things work,
don't put
everybody would
don't put that on me. I'm not a sovereign citizen.
Turner, you've made statements that sovereigns use, and so
I have my trust set up, and I'm not a sovereign citizen.
Yes, ma'am.
I am a person working in my trust.
Okay,
not a sovereign citizen.
All right,
that's against the law.
Okay,
I'm not a sovereign citizen. So I have my trust set up.
Okay.
In a way that it's working for me, and I have it set up.
Okay.
And that's what I'm working on, my trust.
All right. So Miss Ebone Milner is present. Also the Mr. Brown, who's on here on behalf of Federal National Mortgage Association. Mr. Brown, Miss Milner, is my understanding that this was heard in magistrate court, and this is a request for appeal. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a petition for review from a dispossessory judgment. She was a tenant at sufferance post foreclosure.
Okay. All right. So Miss Milner, tell me what's going on.
Judge, well, this is a case of land rights, tribal law, and treaties.
No, ma'am. No.
And I would just like to say that I'm a tribal member, part of the Cash Box Trust Tribe.
No, ma'am.
Government.
No, ma'am. We're not doing that.
And American Indian landowner.
No, ma'am. So we're not doing all that. So this is a simple eviction. So you can tell me how much was owed, how much you paid, whether there's anything that allowed you to stay in the property, or whether there's money owed to you. I don't do the whole trust, tribe, all of that, because that's not what we do.
Well, that's what this is in regards to.
Well, then, ma'am, that's not what we're doing here. I would either have to transfer you to a tribal court, which I don't know of one exists for you, or for Superior Court, because this involves a foreclosure. Essentially, he bought the house through a foreclosure. You were a tenant in the house at the time, or you owned the house and he bought it under the foreclosure. And then it was whether you get to stay in the house and pay rent, or whether you're going to be evicted. Am I clear, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. And
Because I don't deal with I went to law school for 3 years, have practiced law for over 30 years, have been a judge for over 12 years. I don't do the trust stuff because that's some arcane, esoteric stuff that you all believe that we don't follow here in the judicial system.
I understand. Well, I would also like to say that I'm not here to handle any of my private affairs in the public.
Okay, so I'm not sure what that means. You asked for the appeal.
Yes, and as I was stating, I'm tribal member, part of the Cashbox Trust Tribe, and also an Indian American landowner. So this case is in regards to trust and tribal land.
So the property, the foreclosure is on a house on tribal land?
Correct.
Which tribe?
I'm sorry?
Which tribe?
The Ebone
They
Milner
kicked me
tribe.
out.
No, sir. I don't know of that tribe, ma'am. So we either do
Yes,
this.
and all the documentation had been put on file as well.
Okay.
Post foreclosure.
So here's the thing. Like I said, I've explained to you that if somebody purchases a home through foreclosure, then the people who were owners of the home or buying the home have two options. They can leave or they can be treated as tenants in the home. And in this case, it appears that Mr. Brown's client sought to evict you, and now you are asking for a review of that. So in my role in this court, I can go through the case as if it was never heard in magistrate court. But what I will tell you is I'm going to ask very specific questions. I'm going to follow the law under the state of Georgia with respect to landlord tenant. And if you're not able to provide me that information, then I'm going to determine that you're not able to prosecute the case in the way that it needs to be, and I'll dismiss it for want of prosecution.
Well, again, American tribal landowner. So those laws that you may speak of don't apply to me.
No. Well then, okay, I'm going to dismiss your appeal for want of prosecution. The court does not have jurisdiction over American tribal land, nor is there a designation of this property being a tribal land. So at this point, the court is going to dismiss this for want of prosecution. Thank you. All right, next. All right, so back to the arraignment calendar. That was Miles and Lamech Thomas. Lamech Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here representing.
Mr. Thomas, you're before the court for traffic violation, I think, which is usually a running a red light, driving on a suspended or revoked license and no license. Did you need an attorney to assist you, or did you wish to represent yourself?
I represent myself, ma'am.
Okay. All right. 1 second, Mr. Thomas. I'm having trouble seeing you. Okay, there you are. All right. So did you wish to speak with the state? I'll hear from the state about what their recommendation is for the traffic violations.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hagler?
Yes, Your Honor. For case ending in 04186, for count 1, the state's recommendation is a fine of $100. The defendant is no longer eligible, and the state will now process counts 2 and 3.
Okay, and for the case 2024 CR 02581, he's represented by Lister Holton Dennis. All right, so Lister Holton Dennis, Mr. Thomas on the second case.
And Your Honor, for the court's information, we actually are in the process of getting the correct police report for this event. So we're just still holding on that before we can actually, and then we'll have an announcement for that case.
All right, Mr. Taylor, they're waiting on, I guess, updated information for the obstruction case.
Yes, I don't have a police report. I reached out to Mr. Thomas online. Mr. Thomas,
Yeah.
did you see my text message?
No, sir. What did it say?
Well, basically just asking if you needed us to represent you on the second case, the traffic violation case, and Don't say anything here, but just let me know.
I'm missing at the make.
Mr. Thomas?
We need to have a conversation about both cases, Your Honor.
Yeah, do I need, so I can put you in a breakout room at a later time, or do you have Mr. Thomas's correct, phone number?
I don't know, Your Honor. I'd have to.
Mr. Thomas, have you been getting, information from Mr. Taylor or Mr. Lynch?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Thomas, give me the last 4 of your, phone number.
I just got on like 2 days ago, so I had to go into the phone and get it.
Okay, so you said you just got a new phone?
Yep.
Okay, so what I need you to do is, you know how to use the chat function on Zoom?
I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't see how to do the process.
Okay, so Mr. Taylor or Mr. Lynch, can y'all chat him a test?
I have already, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Thomas, you're looking for a red box with some with a white number in it.
Okay.
You see it?
No, man, hold on. One second, I was copying the number. All right,
That's
cool.
okay. Okay, so when you look on your screen, if you see something with a red box with a white number in it, click on that.
Red box, white number.
Yeah.
And I think it's either 2 or 3 because I've sent a couple of.
Okay, I see the messages, but if I text back, will it go like straight to you?
It will come.
Yeah, it's going straight to him. It's not going to everybody. That's
Okay.
why I asked him to send a text.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, so that was exactly why.
Continue while I have a chance to talk with Mr. Thomas and.
Okay, so Mr. Thomas, Mr.
And also
Taylor's
to
gonna
get a copy of the.
information. All right, he's gonna talk to you, okay?
And Ms. Hayward, just a copy of the obstruction information as well.
Yes, once we get it, we're still holding. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Thomas's cases are the last cases on the arraignment calendar. We're gonna switch to the jail calendar. Yes, I would like that announcement. I was gonna ask. Go ahead.
All right, so I won't be needing an attorney. I'll be representing myself as my trust. I'll be representing my trust. I wouldn't need an attorney.
Okay, Mr. What you mean by your trust?
I'm sorry?
What you mean by your trust?
My name is trademark, copyright, representing my trust when they have.
What does all that mean legally? Do you even understand what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. No jurisdiction. I'm not under
No, ma'am. No, sir, Mr.
Jurisdiction.
Mr. Thomas, no. No. We got a president with 37 felonies, sir. He was under somebody's jurisdiction. So I don't know how you, a black man born in America, thinks that you got some stuff that's going to keep you from being under somebody's jurisdiction. All this, I done trademark my name and I'm not the true man and it's the paper man and all that foolishness, Mr. None of that works. None of that works. Y'all go on the internet and figure out some stuff that don't make a bit of sense. And then it hampers you because you think you know better than an attorney who's gone to school for 3 years and 4 years before that to go to college, and they figured out, and then they worked. Mr. Lynch has been an attorney. I've known him for 10 years now, at least, right, Mr. Lynch? So, but you think
close.
you think you done gone online and found some stuff, and you the trust of the strong man of the sir. You don't even understand the American legal system and how it works. But you gonna make up your own stuff because somebody done told you that this works. Same person who told you it works, it don't work. Then what kills me is y'all do stuff like, oh, and under the UCC and the maritime, y'all start quoting stuff that doesn't mean anything. I had one guy in Atlanta tell me something was under maritime law. I was like, sir, we are not even near the ocean. Maritime law is for the ocean. It's the esoteric foolishness that y'all get because y'all have done your research. No professional. What you over here talking about you the trust. Okay, imagine if you walked into a hospital and they told you you needed surgery and you said, oh, no, I'm the trust. I'm not the man. I'm gonna do my own surgery because I looked it up online.
I'm not the trust. I'm representing the trust.
Mister, you don't even know what that means. What I'm saying to you is professionals work for years to learn this, to be able to represent people. You wouldn't walk into a hospital if you had a stab wound or a gunshot wound and say, oh, no, the trust is going to take care of me. I'm going to do it myself because I did some research. I am so sick of y'all thinking that attorneys don't do anything. My mom is an attorney, and one of her clients said to her, well, all you really do is, they're trying not to pay her. All you really do is talk. I can talk. Yeah, but do you know the right words in the right sequence and the right things to look up to make the talk you do make sense? No, you do not. So if you think you can replace a lawyer, go replace a doctor. Next time you get sick, go break an arm and go set it yourself. Go let the true man set it. Go do that. So if you don't want Mr. Taylor to represent you, that's fine. You are free to represent yourself. I will give you the Ferrata warning as soon as possible. But what I'm telling you is there are problems that come with that because you may be hampered by the fact of what you don't know. The second thing is, don't expect that if it goes wrong for you, that you can then say, oh, well, I didn't have good assistance of counsel, because you are your own counsel and you've chosen that. And so just be clear. The third thing, I'm not going to listen to all this esoteric foolishness that you spouting off that you barely don't know. I'm going to follow the law that I studied and I've practiced for over, we rolling up on 30 years now. And so no, we're not doing this trust stuff, the true man, the UCC. We're not doing none of that. So when you come before me, I'm doing the law that I know it to be. I'm going to follow the statutes, the Constitution, and the case law before me that is good law in the state of Georgia and the United States. I'm not playing your game. So let me know. I want you to be clear that this is how this is going to go. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So are you entering a not guilty plea and you intend to go to trial?
What are the charges? I wasn't read the charges when I came in here. I was skipped for some.
Yeah, actually you were, because you have traffic charges and then you have an obstruction charge. Case 2024CR02581, obstruction of an officer. That's the one where you've decided you do not want the assistance of an attorney. The next case is 2021CR04186, traffic violation, which is generally a red light violation. License driving on a suspended or revoked license, count 2. No license, count 3. One of those will merge, so you won't face both of those because of the merger doctrine. So either you would have, if you were convicted, you would face either the driving on the suspended or revoked license or the no license, not both. But those are the charges that are currently pending for you.
Okay.
All right, you're entering a not guilty plea and you wish to have a trial?
And those are together, or are they two different charges? Are those two different charges, or that's one whole docket?
You have two different cases.
Right.
The traffic offenses are on the 2021 CR04186. The obstruction of an officer is on 2024 CR02581.
Okay, and what are the possible outcomes for these pleas?
Possible outcome is on a misdemeanor offense, if you're convicted, the maximum penalty could be up to 12 months in jail, a $5,000 fine, or both per offense. So for each of the offenses, but with merger doctrine, you would have 1, 2, 3 possible 12-month sentences.
And
those could be, or fines. Those could be served concurrently, meaning at the same time, or consecutively, meaning that they would be one after the other. One ends, the other one would start.
All right, I did hear eligible for NOLO. I did hear that come about. So I'll see fit NOLO on the.
Okay, but Mr. Thomas, listen to me. If you're entering a plea of guilty or NOLO, we do a plea right now. If you're entering a plea of not guilty, that means you wish to have a trial at a later date. You can have a jury trial or a bench trial. If you want to do NOLO on your traffic offenses, that's fine. We can do that case now, and you can save the next case for a trial. But if you're entering a plea of NOLO and you want to do that on your traffic offenses, that's fine. We can do that now.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to enter NOLO traffic offenses and not guilty for the obstruction of officer. And by any chance, did that police report show up yet?
We're still pending on the police report, Your Honor.
Okay, so now that you're representing yourself, then you'll have to ask for the discovery and get that information through the Solicitor General's office. If you just write a note saying that you wish to have discovery on this case, then you drop that off at the office or mail it to them, and she'll give you all of the discovery so that you can be ready for trial. Okay?
So I go to the courthouse?
Yeah, you can do that. On the third floor, the Solicitor General's office, and you want to give them a handwritten note. You don't have to type it up or nothing. You can handwrite it that says, I wish to have the discovery on case 2024 CR 02581. And then put your email address, your phone number, and your full address, and that way they can give it to you or tell you how best to get it.
Okay, and is there any way I could do that without showing up? Because I don't live anywhere like in that area.
You can contact the Solicitor General's office. So you would Google Clayton County Solicitor General, Charles Brooks. And if you call their office, they'll tell you who to contact to get that done.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Thomas, did you wish to do the traffic court now? The traffic offenses now?
I believe so, yes, ma'am.
All right, so raise your right hand for me.
I'm not in the jurisdiction of a courthouse, ma'am.
Okay, the law has changed, under COVID, which allowed us to do hearings by video. So as long as you are on video with me in the virtual courtroom, you're under the jurisdiction and we can do the plea. Did you wish to continue?
No, ma'am, because I'm not under the jurisdiction. I'm in the video because I don't really know how to work this virtual courtroom setup yet. But if I need to exit video to further more speech that I'm not in a jurisdiction, I can exit the video, not the chat.
Okay. Are you entering a plea of not guilty for this offense also?
For which one?
For the traffic offenses.
No, man, that'll be a NOLO for.
No, we're not doing a NOLO. If you're not willing to do the NOLO by video, then we're not doing the plea right now. You've seen this. You've seen the people come from the jail calendar, and there was even one person in the courtroom. You've been here the whole time, so you've seen how this works. Like I said, I'm not playing your game. Either we do the plea the way everybody else has done it, or
this isn't a game. Like I don't even do court. Like I just happen to get stopped a few times in trucks that aren't mine, so I somehow get entangled with the police and the court system. But this isn't my field. But like I was saying, like it's definitely possible to do a NOLO. I'm just not under your jurisdiction. I'm representing my trust. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to. Like I do my research. I see laws. I see common laws. All
right. Let's go back to the jail calendar. I'm not doing this today. My sinuses are bothering me. Mr. Morris will be reset to next week.
Yes, Mr.
And Your Honor, for clarity purposes, is Mr. Thomas's, is his traffic case being a not guilty as well? That way we know how to proceed on that one.
I'm gonna enter a not guilty on his behalf because I'm not doing the foolishness today.
Man, I asked that I'm not pled. Like you don't plead on my behalf. I don't call
Mr. Thomas, that's fine. You can ask me anything you want to ask, but I'm done. I'm not doing this. You say you want to enter a NOLO plea. I tell you how to do it. You've seen other people do it, and you don't want to play the game. You don't want to follow the laws and the procedures as we have them. So I'm gonna do what I need to do, which is to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. We'll put you on the trial calendar. Thank you, sir. You are done for today. All right, everybody. Thanks. Mr. Resto. So Mr. Resto, you have two cases.
You have case number. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I'll represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as law term when it comes to driver's license. Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually show them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid, and you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first, so my
I believe
Georgia
this sounds like a not guilty.
So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't know.
Well, the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that the recommendation, I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more than that. So let me explain why I know it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay.
And the fines are hefty. So you would get a plea on the first one, and that's a $500 fine, which is $737.50. But the next one is going to be $1,000 in addition to that, and that's $1,420. So we're looking at almost $2,200.
Your Honor, is Mr. Resto represented on the particular case that we're referring to?
Well,
I want to address him directly if he's represented, because this is a serious matter.
I get you. So that's why I'm saying, Mr. Resto, you have representation. I can allow you to be represented on both cases, and they can help you work this out. But understand that
I was already represented by Lister and Holt, and we kind of been going back and forth with the district attorney's office for a while, and they've been giving me recommendations, and I still didn't take it, but they've been giving me recommendations. I don't know what's changed, but it definitely wasn't $2,000.
Talk to your attorney and let them tell you what the recommendation they have on the table, okay? Because the recommendation, if you're represented, even if you're only represented on one case, the rec is probably going to come to your attorney.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile. without interference by police, and I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over.
Okay, so that's not actually in the Constitution.
And
So
I don't
the
believe
right
automobiles
to
were
travel.
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
an automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
and it's
Hold on, Mr.
totally
Taylor.
private household good.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or, a tag.
But you want them to interfere if somebody.
Now, if you murder somebody because of
say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
No, that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I mean, an automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created. So people was actually operating their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became. That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
and for
so
some reason,
Mr. Resto, do you want to resolve the case? Because it's not
I want to resolve the
40
case.
hours.
I disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation.
Mr.
But $2,000, that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? Can I be?
No,
because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that and count.
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
Yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this case right now? I can do 1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Mr.
And
Mr. Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
what's on the table now, man?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on.
I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening, Mr. Reston. Mr. Resto,
I mean, today, like, I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table. And then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me, because there's stuff I cannot do.
Okay, just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And if I pay it off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be great.
Sorry, I was discussing with Mr. Resto, and I understand something changed about his bond.
Okay. He has bonds with two bondsmen. I don't know of anything. Did somebody come off a bond?
Your Honor, maybe I can address that question.
Okay.
Mr. Resto, our office filed a motion to revoke bond, and that motion was granted a rule nisi, and it was calendared. That motion didn't happen because of the pandemic. It was, I believe, scheduled to happen in 2021, maybe February, but somewhere about that time. I informed Mr. Kamani to inform his client that depending on the outcome of today's arraignment, the state intends to move forward on that bond revocation. Your Honor, may I make a request on that matter?
Sure, Mr. Taylor.
I'd request that the defendant does show in person for him. Zoom court is or remote appearance is not sufficient.
So it's my understanding that you and Mr. Castaneda have parted ways with respect to your case.
Yeah. Did he file a motion to withdraw?
Yeah. Did you want to go forward without an attorney representing yourself?
Yeah, it seems like the attorneys that the state appoints me, they have a very hard time of like listening to their clients, like what they have to say. Like, I had a conversation with him for like maybe 5 minutes, and he was very like wanted to do what he wanted to do. He didn't want to hear what I had, or he was just telling me like I was raising concerns about the state came off of my bond, and I was trying to figure out why they came off of my bond when I show up for court. I gave him no reason to come off my bond, and he said,
so when you say come off your bond, the bonding company has to do that, not the state. So I'm not sure. Like,
well, they filed a motion to come off my bond. That's what he stated.
Okay, is that Free at Last or Atlanta Clayton bonding?
No, not Free at Last.
I have that you.
He stated that the state filed a motion with your court, stating that they wanted to come off my bond to where basically I will have warrant on me.
Okay, Miss John VA, do you have any outstanding bench warrants for Mr. Resto? I don't recall signing any, but I may have.
Did the state file any motions in regards to
that? No.
Okay, I did. So just Your Honor, I didn't know that he was back. I'd already given the file to my assistant. She said she had just sent off the bench warrant to you as well, I think. So
I didn't think.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, Mr. Resto, you're here, so I haven't signed anything yet.
Okay. Does the state have any intentions on trying to come off my bond?
No, so sir, they don't come off your bond unless you fail to appear. My understanding is you had a medical excuse for being late today, so you
Yeah,
contacted
I'm
Ms. Val.
actually still at the hospital. I just had a minor surgery.
Okay, so Ms. Val has allowed you to come on to the call today because she knew that you had a medical issue. So we can deal with your case today, or we can give you a continuance until December 6th, but nobody's coming off the bond and the bench warrant will not be signed.
Okay. I want to handle this today. It's kind of been lingering over my head for some years now. I'm really tired of it. And but I hear that the state is trying to like give me like 10 days in jail, and that would like absolutely ruin my business, my life.
So
I have a 2-year-old son. I'm a single father. Yeah, but see, Judge, in my situation is okay. I got the documentation from the Alabama motor vehicle department. See, I'm actually an Alabama citizen.
Hold
and
on,
I was
Mr.
traveling.
Resto. Hold on. Let me put you in a breakout room with me and the state so we can hear what you're saying, but we're not putting it all out there in case you want to make a different decision, okay?
Okay. Well, I have no absolute reason to lie, and I really believe that.
No, it's not
I can
that,
be vindicated.
sir. This is what I would do if you had an attorney who was representing you, okay? So this is called a pre.
Yeah, but I just honestly believe that when you're just being truthful, there's really no need for attorneys when you're just being honest about your situation.
Next is Mr. Resto. Mr. Castaneda was fired by Mr. Resto, so he's no longer counsel of record. Mr. Resto is wanted, and there is no surety on that. Does the state have there's no surety order on that? Does the state have a request in the Resto case?
Mr. Resto, yes, state would definitely request a rule absolute on that matter.
Okay, on both cases, a rule absolute will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm not threatening you. Say one more word and that's 30 days. 30 days.